Welcome back to Mimi's Organic Eats. My name is Mimi. Today, I'm going to show you guys how to make your own homemade dark brown sugar with just 2 ingredients. And if you didn't know, I owned a bakery for over a decade, and we made our own organic dark brown sugar probably almost every single day because we went through it so often. But the benefits of making your own dark brown sugar at home is it'll last longer because it's freshly made right when you make it, so it doesn't have that shelf time that it has at the grocery store sitting there kind of drying out before you even buy it. So it's going to last so much longer if you make it at home. And the reason I made my own dark brown sugar at my bakery wasn't because of the shelf life. It was because it was actually cheaper than buying it, even at wholesale prices. So if you guys want to save money on baking ingredients, making your own dark brown sugar is going to save you money. So if you have cane sugar or light brown sugar on hand, along with molasses, you can make dark brown sugar at home. So the first way I'm going to show you how to make dark brown sugar is with organic cane sugar and blackstrap molasses. Now you'll need a stand mixer with the paddle attachment and mixing bowl. I highly recommend doing this in your stand mixer, otherwise it's going to take a while to do it by hand and a lot of elbow grease. So I highly recommend that you guys use a digital food scale for this. It's going to ensure that you get the exact amounts of sugar and molasses. And molasses is super sticky, and so if you were going to measure that into like a measuring cup and then transfer that into a mixing bowl, you're gonna lose some for sure. So to get the most accurate measurements, just use a scale. So I have 454 grams of cane sugar in my mixing bowl. And the first thing that I'm going to do is create a well with the sugar just in the mixing bowl. This is going to create a little hole in the middle, and we're gonna put the molasses right in there. Because molasses is so sticky, creating this well is really going to help when mixing, and it's gonna make the mixing time be a lot shorter than it would be if you didn't do this. Because if you just pour molasses right on top of the sugar and then you mix it up in your mixer, it's gonna start mixing and it's gonna start getting on the sides of the bowl. If you put it in a well in the center, it's going to mix in with the sugar all surrounding it and coating it, and so it's not gonna stick to the sides of the bowl nearly as much. And trust me, we know this from my over a decade baking experience, and we were making brown sugar every single day, so this is the fastest way to make dark brown sugar. So don't skip the well. Once you have the well in your sugar, then you're going to add 79 grams of blackstrap molasses into the sugar. So once you have your sugar and your molasses in the mixing bowl, you're going to put it on the stand mixer and mix it on low. You want to make sure that you have a really good scraper in order to scrape down the sides of the bowl, or most likely the paddle, because that's where the most molasses is going to probably get caught, and you want to make sure that it's evenly mixed. This tool is like a hard scraper spatula. It is the best thing for making brown sugar. I'll link it in the description for you guys. Once everything seems to be combined, you can check it out, and as you can see, there's really no molasses on the side of the mixing bowl because the well trick really works. But there might be a little bit of molasses on the paddle, so if there is, you can just go ahead and scrape it with your scraper. And then you can just kind of scrape the bottom just to ensure there's no bits of molasses, and we'll just mix it one more time. And now you have homemade dark brown sugar that you can use in any recipe that calls for dark brown sugar. So you can also make dark brown sugar with light brown sugar as the base. All we're going to do is add in blackstrap molasses to the light brown sugar, but it's not going to be as much as we added to the cane sugar. This is going to give you the same exact result of delicious homemade dark brown sugar. So now I'm going to let you in on a little secret. If you own a bake shop, or if you have a home bakery business of any kind and you're looking to save a little bit of money, making your own dark brown sugar with light brown sugar as the base as opposed to cane sugar is actually going to save you money. This is because molasses is actually more money per ounce than something like sugar. So adding less molasses into light brown sugar is going to possibly save you more money than adding in more. So check your costs, but this is just something that I found when I owned my bake shop. So to make dark brown sugar out of light brown sugar, we're going to do basically the same exact thing that we did before. I have 454 grams of light brown sugar in my mixing bowl. Now I'm going to create that well that I talked about, which is super important, and it makes the mixing so much easier and faster. And then we're going to add in 35 grams of blackstrap molasses to the light brown sugar, which is about half as much. And now we're just going to mix this up with our stand mixer just like before. Mix it on low until everything is combined. So I'm using my same favorite scraper spatula tool here just to make sure we get all the molasses off the paddle and if there's anything on the sides. But using light brown sugar as a base will actually be even faster than using cane sugar because there's less molasses that needs to mix up. Once your dark brown sugar is made, you want to make sure you store it in an airtight container. This is going to keep it from drying out in your pantry. Now you have homemade dark brown sugar that is ready to use in any recipe. If you want more baking tips and tricks, be sure to hit that subscribe button and join me next time in the kitchen.